Hello everyone, my name's Destroy, and welcome to Phoenix Point. This is an awesome XCOM-like game. Really cool. You know, if you don't know what XCOM is basically like an RNG-esque strategy game where you move your cover, you shoot aliens, and you pray to God your units don't die through just horrible RNG luck sometimes. Phoenix Point is like that, but on crack. It's similar to the original XCOM, though nowhere near as hard at the start. Because the original XCOM is really hard at the start, it gets a bit easier as you go on. This game is kind of easy-ish at the start and then gets really hard mid to late game where enemies just start ramping up. So one thing to note right now that I haven't said, this is a voiceover. That's right. If you're wondering why my audio probably sounds significantly better, it's because I'm recording through a significantly better, studio, aka CapCut. Usually I record through Sound Recorder, which is like really shit, but I do it because it just works better for the videos. This time I'm having to voice over everything because I had a major issue where all my audio fucked up, like really badly, like really badly, so much where I was not happy. But yeah, I think we're about to get into cutscenes.
Web is yellow alert. Other refugees are coming from the coast. 400 yesterday. The mist is coming fast. We need weapons, vehicles, and food. If there's anyone that can respond.
8, 3, 7.
We listened to the number stations every day. I took turns with Jacob, waiting for our signal. And finally, it came. A scarab got it too, its AI directing it to our rendezvous point. We had no news from Symes for many months. Did he send the activation codes? I was desperate to know what happened to him. The mutants were on the march again. Something was happening. If the mist was back, then it meant that the Pandora virus was mutating again, twisting the human form into new horrors. We needed to regroup, rebuild. But first, we had to get to that scarab.
So yeah, now that that cutscene is done and over with, I guess I'll explain a bit. Let's ease the controls, yada yada yada. This is the basic tutorial because I wanted to go over how to play it again. I haven't played it in a while, like in a very long time. I haven't actually beaten the game yet, which is actually one of the major reasons why I even wanted to return, because usually I like beating the games I get. So, kinda just had to beat this game. Or I decided, I guess it was time for this game to be beaten. But yeah. This is just going over movement.
This is the rendezvous point. The scarab is waiting for us right over there.
And the current main objective is to get the scarab, which is a cool vehicle that will be explained once I get there. This is the enemy, Arthons. I'm sorry, I can't really see it too well. It's kind of like a small little box right now for me, which is so unfortunate because I was... everything was good until I found out this. But yeah. Basically, the game's just telling me what to do right now. I'm doing all this. And that, moving here, moving there, shooting this, shooting this. Oh yeah, armor and damage penetration, yada yada. I'll actually explain that now because I don't know if I did a good job in the video, so I guess I'll explain it now actually, which is really good. Armor is basically reduction damage, like in most games. It's always going to be reduction type damage. The more armor you have, the better. The less armor you have, the more damage you take from just basic shots. This game does a really cool thing though, and this has a limb system. Basically, every part of the body is a limb that can be damaged and shot specifically. Breaking the armor and breaking health on the limb causes bleeding. Once you break the entire health upon the limb, it causes bleeding. And then once you get rid of all the armor, you just do maximum damage to that part of the body. Meaning some part of the body, it's really easy to just do excessive damage to. Meaning some enemies, if not most, if all enemies, have a certain weakness. There's only a few that don't have weaknesses, which we won't get to in the videos I'm going to dub right now, but maybe in like the next 6 videos we might get to. But yeah, that was just going over the free aim, which just shows you can kind of freely aim anywhere you want to around enemies, zoom in and out, zoom all around, yada yada yada, this, that. Really good for just selecting certain parts of the body, and it's nice. But these guys are like pretty much cannon fodder. They're the very weak of weak enemies, so they get on them fairly easily.
It's seen better days, but it will have to do. Jump inside.
Okay. Yeah, these enemies go down fairly easily, and now it's just us getting over there to the scarab and then getting our vehicle. So I guess I'll get over there.
Heading out?
Watch out, I'm moving in. I'm on the move.
Okay, now that the enemies are moving at us, these guys, they're fast. They somewhat have smart AI. They're not like the smartest AI ever, but like they'll take cover-ish. Basically, they'll go to positions where they can't always be shot at, or they'll just try to run up and beat the shit out of me. Those are pretty much their only two things. But other than that, they're fairly easy to take down. I do kind of make a random mistake here. I actually do remember this because, you know, good memory me, I guess, unfortunately. Instead of shooting this guy with that guy over there, I said shoot this guy with her, which kind of gives myself a little issue here. Once again, this is just me showing off the free aim of what I can do, how far I can do, and I can't see the guy behind the rock, unfortunately. And while I could shoot the rock to destroy the rock and then shoot him like again, because I probably will see him then, it's not worth it. So I just take the shot over here, which was probably the wrong play. I probably just played it better without her getting hit. But yeah. So instead I run over here to guarantee the shot.
Ready to fire.
And then I move her up, I think, right?
Taking
Yep, and then he gets hit because they made a little oopsie. But outside of that, this mission went pretty flawlessly, and we get to the Scarab unharmed. I'm absolutely sure, because this is a tutorial. So yeah, I'll see you guys, or I'll talk to you guys once I get back to the Scarab.
Targeting.
Okay, now that I've gotten to Scarab, Scarabs are actually really strong pieces of vehicles that you really love. These things are tanky, they have missiles, which mean they can do massive damage to a bunch of enemies all at once, and they can store your units, meaning your units can pretty much travel in them without the fear of getting harmed. After every mission you complete, you pretty much get XP in SP. SP just means special points, which just means it's what they use to upgrade themselves with other their abilities. XP determines how they can level up.
After several hours traveling, the howling noises stopped, and then so did the Scarab. I did a quick survey around our position while Jacob talked to the AI. There was an abandoned government reclamation station nearby. These places are usually good for scavenging supplies and equipment, but they often attracted desperate gangs. The AI gave us the reason for our stop: an emergency rescue signal from another Phoenix operative. We had a location too, right in the middle of that station. The Scarab made it clear that we should attempt a rescue before continuing with our journey. Despite no sign of the mutants, our comrade was clearly under threat. The Scarab's missile launcher would prove very useful. We've got visual on the building. The Phoenix operative should be close by. There are hostiles up ahead, so stay vigilant.
Okay, this is going over the action point system. The action point system is pretty straightforward. You have 4 action points in total. You need 2 to shoot for most weapons, or sometimes more. For physical weapons, like melee, you really only do need 1, though some I do think that do more damage, you do need more than 1, like 2. which can be annoying at times. Then this talks over the Scarab and what it can do. Like I said, Scarab's really strong. They're bulky, they're tanky, they move fast, and they have really good damage rockets that can pretty much shoot almost anywhere they want to, as I'll show very shortly here. But most importantly, Scarabs, they're just good. You love them, you want to have them. I almost recommend always getting the one early game if you can't get one, or sorry, if you have the chance to get one, because these things are built to last. Only a bit of a tune-up here and there, and they're pretty much permanently a part of the member of the team. The only downside to Scarabs is they cannot reload, meaning what they have during the mission is exactly what they have during that mission. Which is why Scarabs can be somewhat unreliable, especially in close encounter or close areas where their shots can't go nearly as far as it just showed. So currently, this is just me, I guess, deciding where I want to go, where the enemies are probably going to be at, and where my guy's going to be at, because I need to save a Phoenix operative here. So I move up, and whoa, an enemy here. Whoa, how could I have known that? Oh, wow. Almost as if I'm not playing it right now, and I'm voicing over. Yo. But yeah, the enemy's right here, and then I am about to show you the reason why Scarabs are kind of OP very fast. And also go over another thing real quick, once I shoot him with the Scarab. So, yeah, Scarab's gonna move up a bit, sing some. Oh, not even move up a bit at all. I'm just gonna straight up shoot him, yep. I mean, what else is he gonna do, I guess? And that's one dead person. So Scarabs, you see, are very strong. You can take out pretty much almost anyone within 2 shots, because that's what they do. They do 2-shot burst. Highly damage, gets through almost any sort of armor and everything like that. That's just showing what low cover is. Low cover is low cover. Enemies can somewhat see you still. Not the worst thing in the world. Then I'm going to move to high cover, right? Right, me? Oh, okay, no, I think I'm explaining. Okay, so this is me explaining what the high cover is. So if I was right there, enemies would not be able to see me through certain positions, but through another position, they'd be able to see me and shoot me, and then through another position, they'd be able to see me and then shoot some parts of me. Basically, that's why I'm just kind of explaining right then and there. And then I move into it, because I'm like, oh, there's no enemy here, most likely. Then that just explains what high cover is. Through some of this, I start reading it. I can't read it from the position I'm at. Like, it literally looks like a bunch of Scrabbles to me, so... yeah, unfortunately, you're not going to hear my wonderful reading voice. Instead, you're going to hear this very bland, boring, not really condescending, I guess, but just not really happy voice right now. Yeah, because I'm not happy at all. Not with what happened. So I guess I'll get to you once I get to the operative.
Here I am. Let's do this.
Okay, I'm gonna move over here and whoa, is that an ally? Yo, I think that's Omar. So, what the? I don't want to say that. No, it's just like whatever. But yeah, this is our operative. So when we have units we have to get in battle like this, we just have to go over them, pick them up, and stuff like that. Very simple, very easy, and then they are part of our crew. Now, Omars are heavy. Heavies are different from the assaults. I haven't actually explained many of the classes. I'll explain them as we see them. So I'll explain the assaults now, I guess, as we go. Assaults are fast-paced, strong guys. I shouldn't say strong, but they're just fast-paced guys who whole thing is they can move pretty fast and far with decently good accuracy weapons that can do burst, meaning overall they're reliant upon doing some sort of damage, right? And then, well, yeah, that's pretty much it. They do burst, so just reliable damage. They're fast-paced, and they don't require a lot of actions to actually shoot. They only require 2 actions to shoot their weapon, meaning they are one of the very few classes, I have to say very few classes, that can actually shoot their weapon and move. You'd be surprised how many classes cannot shoot their weapon and move. It's really unfortunate. As you'll find here, Omar is one of those classes that have trouble moving and shooting. You can really only move like 2 spaces, and then he can't shoot anymore if he moves any more than that. Currently, he doesn't spawn with a weapon because we have to get it, but he does have his jump pack, which jump packs are another thing here, which I will show. That's what we have to go for his weapons. This is whole thing showing the whole tactical layer stuff. Jump pack pretty much is here. It can move him very far at the cost of his will. Will is something that's also very important. We won't really see until later on in the video, but will is essentially what allows you to use your skills. Yeah, we'll call them skills. They allow you to use your skills, and when you run out of will, you kind of go into panic. And when you panic, you just run to cover and you don't do anything. Your character is pretty much forced to sit there until someone snaps him out of it, which is really unfortunate. Thankfully, that doesn't happen to us. Within the 2 recordings I've done so far, you know, I know spoiler, but I don't really care right now. But yeah, will is ultra important though, so always do keep it in check. The only time will comes into a major focus though is when you're fighting enemies that either take away will or your units are dying very fast. Because when your units die, you lose will. When you kill enemy units, you gain will, and you don't ever go over your max. This is tactical tips showing how I can shoot, how I can't shoot, yada yada yada. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, Scarab's gonna go up because it's a Scarab. They can't do much. They can definitely damage a Scarab, but they can't destroy it. Like, it's really hard to destroy vehicles in this game. I think there's only like 1 vehicle in the game where I would actually put in somewhat of danger because it's more of a living type of vehicle. If you know Phoenix Point, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you don't know Phoenix Point, then yeah. Now, granted, I say maybe because I've actually never had that vehicle yet. I think the Scarab is the only vehicle I've had in this game, so I can't say for sure against all the other ones. I do know there is that other vehicle, we'll call it, from that other faction that is very annoying to deal with. I won't exactly spill the beans just in case I eventually fight it in this campaign, which probably, let's be honest here, will be the case. I don't like those guys that much, but yeah. Once again, just showing the insane power of rockets. No 1 unit can withstand it, except for like the units that can withstand it. We'll see very shortly. But yeah, so far pretty easy. I'm just gonna go and get his weapons. If I can reach it. Can I reach it this turn? I don't think I can, actually. Yeah, I can't reach it this turn. Unfortunate. So instead, I just move him up, and that's gonna be it. I'll get back to you guys once we get his weapon and all that.
I'm repositioning. Yes.
Let's go.
Opening fire.
So this is just explaining inventory movement and all that. Basically, I can move ground stuff into my equip slots, which ready basically means it's stuff I can automatically use, and then backpack means I need to go back in there, so it'll cost an action if I want to shuffle around my backpack. It's not bad. I mean, I guess it's bad if you really don't like doing that stuff, but it's whatever. So yeah, just equip that, put that in there, and put my medkit on. The autocannon is a very special type of weapon. It's really good at shredding and doing massive damage to body parts. Primarily because it's an explosive weapon, so therefore it just blows up multiple body parts. And because it's also a 3-round burst weapon, it's really good at shredding. The only downside is its accuracy is one of the worst accuracy weapons in this entire game. Like, it cannot be understated how bad it is. Because it's so bad, I'd actually recommend not using it half the time. Though when it does work, it works really well. At this point, they're just trying to destroy the vehicle for whatever reason. I don't really know why. It's a vehicle. Like, you aren't doing it. You can damage a vehicle and make it to where it can't move. But regardless of that, it's at a really good location where it can just kill mostly everyone. Also, I'll go over the limb system now, since I guess it's kind of important. I only brushed over it earlier on in the video. So the limb system is actually kind of important. When you break a person's limbs, especially something like, let's say, their legs, they have trouble moving now, and when you break it completely, they start bleeding, which is good for just overall damage. And it's impossible to stop bleeding unless you use a medkit to basically reduce the bleeding, which not every enemy has. So they better hope they have some way of just healing or a bleed resistant thing. This is something I call stupid, by the way. This guy dodged all of his shots because he groaned in pain, by the way. That's actually, I remember that one. That one kind of pissed me off because I was like, no, I need someone else's action to kill this guy. That's kind of stupid.
I'll be right there.
But back to it. When you break someone's arms, sometimes they can't even use their actual weapons because it requires 2 hands to use most weapons. This goes both ways, though, so you gotta remember to keep yourself in tippy-top shape, because if your limb gets broken, by the way, there is no way of repairing it mid-combat. So, good luck. And I had to mention this now because this happens to this guy right here. 1, 2. He may survive the explosion, but his limbs are broken. With his legs gone, his arm gone, he can't carry his own weapon, and he can barely move, so there's nothing he can do. Plus, with the bleeding, he's going to bleed out on his turn. So, quite literally, yeah. I actually go over this right now in the video, I think. Over the limbs and how they can't carry the weapon because it's a 2-handed weapon. So let's see if I do that, because I'm pretty sure I'd say something like that if I saw this, right? Click A, me. Me, come on, click A. Come on. There we go. Okay, well, dang, that was fast. There we go. Nope, there we go. See how it says 2-handed? Hands to use? Yeah, so he can't carry his own weapon anymore, and his bleeding is going to pretty much put his end to his misery. Yep. They'll also go over armor and how that kind of just reduces damage, and also how it helps reduce damage to certain limbs and all that, yada, yada, yada. Explosions are pretty much good and the key to getting rid of every type of limb, as it just says, fuck it. We get rid of armor and we just hurt all limbs at once. Good. Yeah, this guy's dead in the water. Can't really do anything, leaving just these two guys to fend for themselves while I get. Actually, get what? I just kill them all. Doesn't matter. So I guess I'll get back to you guys once I clean house with these guys.
Opening fire. Take this. I need help here.
Moving in quick.
An anarchist. My turn.
Omar, is it? Glad you found some gear, 'cause you're gonna need it. Now you're part of my squad. After the battle, the Scarab resumed its course towards our base, struggling through the rough terrain. Strange growths were contorting the road, smashing against its armor. It wasn't long before it took one too many hits. The engine gave a loud crack, and the AI went dark. We had lost a valuable member of the team. We knew we were close to our destination, but we didn't know what we would find there. If we were to advance on foot, we had to exercise extreme caution. Approaching the base, we heard gunshots. Jacob and Omar took positions by my side. What was going on inside? A bandit ambush, or something much worse? Following Phoenix Protocol, we readied our weapons. It is time to reclaim our home. Tread lightly. There are hostiles up ahead. Let's get rid of them and clean up this mess.
Okay. So now we're going to kind of raid our own base here. It's not our own base per se, but it's going to be our base. Essentially, we will find our own Phoenix bases that are kind of taken over in the mist. And it's our job to kind of, well, clear them out per se. If they're not infected, but if they're pretty much surrounded or infested with hostiles, we clear them out by killing them all and make it our own base. Not much to say on that department. Pretty much just here to, well, I mean, I said clear it like 6 times already. I don't want to say more. This voiceover stuff, it's not annoying. It's just unfortunate. Like, I just did not think I'd have to do it. I'm fine with voicing over a couple parts here and there. Make things sound a bit better and be a bit better. But, the whole thing? Yikes. But yeah, these are poison worms. Poison worms are pretty obvious. They are literally poison worms. They come to you, they suicide, and they poison anyone in their current area. Poison is strong in this game. Oh, I think we noticed a couple poison worms somewhere. There, yeah. Then as I go over here, I notice another. But then as I continue going over here, I notice something even
Here I
scarier.
come.
A operative in danger. That's the most scariest thing to ever see. Now, I pretty much go in. I try my best to save the operative. I will definitely save them. I mean, they're not going to die to poison worms. That would only be some weakling, stupid, idiot kind of play there to lose an operative to poison worms. Like, who would do that? I wouldn't. And if you think I am, you should stop
Moving in
thinking that,
quick.
like, expeditiously. Because, come on, I'm not that bad at this game. Okay, I might have not completed it, and I might have failed, early for like one of the runs. But you guys don't know that, or didn't know that. And, I wouldn't lose a soldier to this kind of shit. Oh, also, there's hearing stuff. There's this whole
No
mechanic
visual,
where
but I
we
can hear
can...
commotion coming from the hangar. We must investigate.
Yeah, she just said it there. When you can hear commotion around the map. When you hear commotion around the map, it can basically mean either good or bad. It basically means enemies are there or enemies aren't there. Generally, this is only through auditable detectable range, which is another stat in this game. It's somewhat hidden, somewhat not hidden. There's certain things you can do to increase the audible range of where your character can hear. But like I said, it's dangerous. It's different. This is poison. Poison's its own little thing. Basically, they take the current up to damage of what they have for poison, and then it goes down by 10, and they take that. Basically, poison does, if I'm correct, I think like 140 damage? Right, 50, 90, 120, 140, 150. Yep, 150 damage. It does exactly 150 damage, which is a lot. That's over half the HP of most soldiers, so already pretty bad. And it goes straight through armor. Of course, this means if you have no medkit, that soldier's pretty much dead. Like, if they take any other hit, they're going to die kind of scenario. But with a medkit, you can pretty much heal off the damage, so it's not too bad.
Let's go.
Which I go over here, I immediately go get them and then heal them. After that, I pretty much just advance in. I get some of this loot stuff, because, I mean, it's loot.
I'm repositioning.
And yeah. Let's go get our stuff here. This gives us the pistol. Pistols are kind of important, kind of not. They're kind of weak sidearms that don't do too much. So you probably won't ever find me using them unless I'm in a very dire situation. Generally, the thing with pistols, though, is they cost 1 AP to use. And overall, if you use all 4 shots, they can do some surprisingly good damage, especially against enemies that are not armored. But you'll find out that finding someone not armored in this game, yeah, you're literally the only soldiers that that are pretty much unarmored for most of this. Like bandits, I guess, are technically unarmored, right? They don't have a lot of armor, but
Here I am.
regardless of that, you also don't have a lot of armor. Everyone else has some armor for some reason, though. Just It's one of the most saddest things I can see. There's also Overwatch, like in the other games, but Overwatch is a bit different because you do a very precise Overwatch in this game instead of other games, which just when you press Y, you press Y, and then you just Overwatch anywhere. Right. Primarily, XCOM does the whole like you just press Y and you Overwatch anywhere. This is a very precise Overwatch where you gotta know where you're aiming at and all that, which I like a bit more because it makes it so I can determine who to hit and who not to hit. It's nice. When I do this, she's gonna run over here and not get captured, which I think is kind of stupid, but it's whatever. And we hear this guy just run up, do something.
We've got a poison worm situation. Somebody get a med kit.
And as she just explained there, you can heal poison through med kits and anything else like that. And then we get introduced to our sniper class. Sniper classes are pretty simple and straightforward. The only thing that's really makes them different than other classes is that they do high damage. They have very low armor damage, so they don't do a lot of damage to armor. But they don't really need to do a lot of damage to armor. And the major other thing is they don't burst. Most other classes in this game will always do a burst fire. Snipers only do one shot, but through that one shot, they can do some massive damage, especially if the target's unarmored, meaning these guys are your general killers of anything. Yeah, that's pretty much a sniper class to you, or for you. They're really accurate too, so you can pretty much reliably have them shoot most shots and they'll hit. Of course, if that shot is blocked off or you only see like one part of that person's body, you probably shouldn't take that shot.
Steady,
but if you can see the entire
take
body,
Overwatch
you can probably
positions
hit
and
them.
wait for them to come.
That's the game telling you you probably want to just wait for now. So yeah, just let them come to you too. Most enemies are kind of stupid, so they'll run up to you towards you, especially early game where they don't have actual knowledge to take cover. Most enemies literally cannot take cover in the first part of the early game, so it's really easy to just shoot most of them. So I guess I'll get back to you once we start getting some danger here.
What a kill!
Going in.
Hostile destroyed.
Let's go.
Rolling out. Let's go. I'll be right there.
Area covered.
Okay.
Here I am.
After that
Let's do
shameful
this.
display,
Tango spotted.
it's time to see the true threat. This is what I said when things get a bit more dangerous. Here's some mind fraggers. Mind fraggers are, well, the best way to put it is mind control incarnate. These guys' one job is to pretty much sneak up to one of your units and then attach their faces to your face. And with some face-on-face action, they got control of your entire body then. It's not as cool as it sounds. These guys are pretty dangerous. I wouldn't rate them as like the most dangerous enemy out there, but early game, these can be one of the biggest reasons for why any mission fails, because one person getting mind fragged essentially equates to a full-powered enemy unit in 2 seconds. Thankfully, mind fraggers are pretty easy to kill. The only downside is because of how they work, they're pretty hard to hit from afar, and relying things up to Overwatch can sometimes be a gamble because,
Come
let me
get
tell you,
some.
your units will miss. They just will miss. Sometimes you're like, oh, it's good, yay, everything's gonna be fine, they're gonna run up to me, and I have a short Overwatch thing, so I'm guaranteed to hit, and then they just miss every shot, and you're just like, well, that was fun. I just lost a unit for no reason, and would you look at that? All my other units are just not near them. Yay, mind fraggers. Yay. But yeah, these guys are generally your pretty much your generic, highly dangerous small unit. It doesn't get more dangerous than these guys, to be honest. So yeah, I shoot it, kill it, make it light work, and then I just move on with my day. After this, I pretty much just go up. I suspect there's more mind fraggers, which, because you see the little line over there. So just pretty much Overwatch, and that's what I do for this. It
Nothing's
doesn't
getting
really
past
get much
me.
harder. Like, at all.
Going in.
Move over there, and move over here. Mindfragger moves up. He says, I see you guys, I see you. Oh, wait, I see you too, and you're dead. But as I saw there, I got him on that last shot, which really just goes to show you it can really fuck up. Like, I'm not lying when I say your
Moving
characters
in
can miss
quick.
every single shot, or at least the killing shot, and then
The
you're
door is
left with
shut,
someone getting
so we'll have
killed.
to use those ladders. Go, go, go!
Basically, this time I just gotta use ladders, go up there, get materials, and then go into the actual main part of the base and kill the rest of the enemies. The mission's pretty simple, straightforward, very easy. It's still tutorial, so it's not too hard. They don't try and make it harder than just tutorial. So I'll get back to you once we get to something a bit more interesting.
I'm on the move.
Moving in quick.
Let's go. Here I come.
Somebody bash that thing off his face.
Okay, and as you can see here, we have our first mind-fragged soldier to deal with, kind
Rolling
of.
out?
Mind-fragged soldiers, when your soldier gets mind-fragged, or a soldier gets mind-fragged, and you want to save him, the best way to do it is to pretty much just beat the crap out of the mind-fragger that's on his face, instead of shooting him. You can shoot it off, but there's a good chance your soldiers are going to continue firing after this mind-fragger died, which is going to lead to some death, or some damage, which you don't want to see. Also, I suspect there's something down at the end of the stairs they can't climb, like a worm. I was wrong, it was a mind-fragger, and I also get somebody completely mind-fragged. So you're about to see some face-on-face action. Thankfully, when someone gets taken over immediately, they cannot shoot. If they could, it would be a real bad thing. But this time, it's just showing us what to do against mind-fragged soldiers. Do we punch them? Do we shoot them? You can shoot them, but you might hurt your own soldier. Probably won't kill him. Or you can just go next to them and bash, which is a guaranteed kill always. The big issue with bashing, though, is you might not always have enough AP to do that and all that. Also, this is just me showing the armor stuff as well. As you can see, this guy's very heavy armor, so shooting him is not going to be too much of an issue. He can probably take most hits and be
Finger
completely
on the
fine.
trigger.
But I wouldn't do that to him, so
I'll be
I'm
right
just going
there.
to run up and give him a good old light tap on the face. And it's that easy. Also, one major thing to realize is when your character gets mind-fragged, they lose their turn. Like, they absolutely lose their turn. So it's a really unfortunate scenario. You do not want to get mind-fragged, because that can lead to certain losses of actions, which could lead to you just being too slow and getting caught up by something that you really don't want to be caught by. But that's later game. This is early game. We don't really care about any of that stuff now. But it is something to keep in mind, because you will quickly forget mind-fraggers will exist one day. It happens very quickly. Like, you just don't see them ever, and then the one mission you do, you're like, okay, I got mind-fragged, who cares, time to... And then you realize your guy can't move. This is me now just trying to find where the last enemies are. Find this little guy, he's like, huh? And then this guy over here, he's not gonna have a nice life. Then this guy unfortunately comes up nowhere and then just says, here, let me tap you real quick. Thankfully they're low damage, so I don't gotta work too much about them.
Ready to engage.
And a good point-blank shot ends this guy like it was literally nothing, because it was nothing. A good old Arthur.
Ready to engage.
I then decided to shoot him with this. You know,
Hostile eliminated.
these guys with the autocannon rarely ever get their time to shine, or XP. So giving him something to do is just good. And then we just have the last guy to clean up, which isn't too hard. We just pretty much surround him, overwatch him, and then he's going to be forced to come out sometime.
Area
And then
covered.
once we do that, we'll just normally shoot him.
Holding position.
Runs over here. And then we just gun the guy down because, I mean, well, what else are we going to do? And that is going to be a mission
Kills
complete.
confirmed. Phoenix, welcome home.
Come on. There we go. And with that, we get a bunch of XP, a bunch of SP for completing the mission, and we all go home. Well, we now have a home. Like all home. So happy, so nice.
The reclamation of Phoenix Point was just the first step on our path ahead. A desperate fight against an overwhelming foe, and only a handful of friends to help. But if this base could withstand the attack, then so could we, and so could Symes. If our leader was somewhere out there, we had to re-establish contact, no matter the cost.
The Phoenix Project was founded on October 24th, 1945. The Second War to End All Wars was over, but there were those who understood that we could no longer afford to think in terms of nations and empires. For a time, the Phoenix Project successfully navigated the political conflicts of its era. That was our golden age. Phoenix Project operatives scoured the world for clues. We had bases in 24 countries. Even the heavens were not off limits. But out there, on the far side of the moon, began our downfall. The failure of the Phoenix 2 mission exposed us to our enemies in the UN. Stripped of resources and scattered to the winds, we were reduced to a secret, a memory. When the Pandora virus woke up, we should have been the first line of defense. When huge clouds of mist appeared over the sea, when people started vanishing, we should have figured out what was going on. And when those people started coming back, changed, hostile, alien, we should have been ready to fight, but we failed. The ecosystem started to change, imperceptibly at first, then faster and faster. 3 factions arose. New Jericho, trying to restore order and purity. Sanhedrin, hoping to build a world without hierarchies. And the Disciples of Anu, a new, syncretic religion dedicated to adaptation and biological change. At war with the world, and at odds with each other, these factions cannot find a way forward. Now the mist is returning, and armies are rising from the sea. Without the Phoenix Project, humanity will fall. It's time to rise from the ashes.
Okay, and hello once again. I'm back here. Voice dub me, yay! Thought the video was over. No, because you saw the time on it. It's close, but not quite there yet, unfortunately. And I still have to voice over one extra part. So fun for me. Okay, but back to it. This is a geoscape. The geoscape is essentially where we go, travel around the world, find where certain cool items are, and factions, and the ever so growing mist. Okay, basically, scan around, research stuff, yada yada yada. This is me looking around the world, seeing exactly where we are. You know, always good to know. I think currently we're in some place in Asia. I mean, I don't think I know we're in some place in Asia. I don't quite know the exact area. Maybe China, maybe not. I think we're near China. I don't think we're actually on China, though. So yeah, we're in this hemisphere. Don't know why it's divided like this. Oof. But yeah. Just looking around, yada yada yada. Speed through. Come on, me. There really isn't much to talk about the geoscape here if we don't do anything, so we kind of need to... There we go. Now we gotta look over here, repair certain things like the vehicle bay, which is how we get the Manticore. The Manticore is our great vehicle that allows us to travel around the air, and it's pretty much how we go anywhere on this planet. Without it, we can't do anything. Manticores are pretty important. It's our air vehicle. There's other air vehicles in the game to help us travel, but the Manticore is going to be our air vehicle for now, because getting another one is going to take a very long time, like excruciatingly painful time, unless we just rob someone, which that will almost insurably get someone killed. There is no way I'm surviving. Oh, would you look here? Yeah, I'm looking at all my guys, and looks like we got some people who need to upgrade, like Jacob. Almost called this guy Jason. Jacob, yeah. So I don't exactly know what I'm doing here, but I think I'm probably talking about something about upgrading. This just goes over the training soldiers and what we can do, yada yada yada. You can read this if you want to, you know. Wow, you're kind of fast reader. I see. So, as I was saying, you can upgrade the soldiers here using their own points. or you can use our own points when they run out of points. Each soldier's tree is different. I mean, not really. The main tree is the same, but they have their own skill points that is different in that second bar. This guy's a trooper status effect, or not trooper status effect, the trooper class, so he just gains the extra accuracy with more damage, making him really good. Like, he's very accurate because of this. Meaning, we like him. Jacob is a good guy. We want more Jacob. He also has access to return fire right now, but we're not going to get that since that's not too important. Though we could if we wanted to. This is me just fishing around and showing you how the strength stuff works. It basically takes a bunch of SP to really upgrade your stuff, which is good and bad. You really don't want all of that. Having more generic soldiers is technically good, but having specialized soldiers never hurts either. But for the most part, you really do want to just get their upgrade slots for the passives, because the passives are pretty much the best thing in the game. The actives aren't too bad, but most active abilities suck, and the ones that are really good cost a lot of will, and will you're always shorthand on. You don't want to take away your will. Unless you're like early game where you can actually use it. You know, in late game it gets a bit harder to use because, or I can't even say late game. I'm not even in late game. Like, we're so far from late game. We're so far from mid game. I just want to get back to like where I would normally be in this game, right? Which I remember getting pretty far. I don't know if I was going to save the world. I'm pretty sure the world was still doomed no matter what, but you know, I was getting somewhere, I think. But regardless, here we are. So this is just showing the strong arm, or strong man. Yeah, strong man. Basically gives us heavy proficiency, which we don't really need. We almost never want heavy proficiency because heavy weapons, at least by Phoenix Point stuff, sucks. Also, I guess it's now the time to mention, I didn't really mention this earlier, even though it was there. Every faction has their own weapons, which is really good. Put it like that. Phoenix Point is the base standard, so basically we have what I like to call the barely viable weapons. These weapons can barely carry you through the entire game. Very well, barely though. Like, very barely. Like, almost so much where I kind of question, can they actually carry us through? But it's something, I guess. Overall, our heavy weapons suck, our sniper's really good, and our main assault rifle is decent. We almost want to immediately get rid of our own heavy weapon for any other heavy weapon in the game, though. Even the Raider heavy weapon, which is just the machine gun we saw earlier from that one Raider guy, that one is better than the one we currently have. The one we currently have is really good for close range and combat, where we want to get rid of heavy armor, but that's really all it does, and it really doesn't do anything else than that. So, yeah. And because most things with heavy armor are really tanky and really dangerous to get close to, and that weapon is really only good when you're close to them, you're pretty much guaranteed to die anytime you get real value out of it late game. Or I guess mid game, I should say. Which we're still so far from. So yeah, this is me upgrading the guy with basically, as I call it, accuracy suit. It's better than the Odin armor, which is the normal Phoenix armor. It gives us just basically more accuracy at the cost of armor, which I'm perfectly fine with because I just won't get hit. Simple as that. Especially as long as he hits all of his shots, which this is with Jacob, so he's already going to have the extra accuracy with the trooper bonus. So you can already tell this guy is going to be our point guard. He's like, I got this, Dennis. I got this kind of guy, right? But basically, when he shoots, I expect him to hit every shot, or at least get a kill. And this is just me checking out every other thing. And just basically making sure everyone has this and that. Now, this is just showing the Manticore, what it can do, what it's our job, which is just to go around places and explore. Find out where basically local havens are and do all that. And while I didn't actually go over every manufacturer's gun, when I get there, I'll tell you them. Except for like bandits, because bandits are pretty much the exact same as Phoenix Point, just literally worse. With the exception of like the heavy, which can be debatably better just because it's an actual gun that shoots. The only downside is the ammo requirements for it because it shoots so much ammo. As so here, explore sites, find out what places are near and what places aren't, and yeah. So we find a scavenging site, which we are going to go. Scavenging sites pretty much just give us materials and XP as we complete the mission. That's really it. They're really good for materials. Not the best thing in the world, but they'll do.
Those crates contain valuable materials, so grab everything you can. This place will be crawling with mutants any minute now.
So basically, you might be wondering what this shows. This shows anything in the outer regions is basically going to have our shots land. In the outer region is the entire area of where our shots can hit at. In the middle region is where our shots could hit at. Basically, it's a 50% chance to hit in the middle, while it's 100% chance to always be in the outer region. So basically, the outer region shows us our full area of what we're shooting. And this right here is a Mist Sentinel. These guys pretty much are really annoying. They don't alert everyone, but they do spread mist, which mist is really bad. We don't want like mist. Mist blocks enemy vision, so we can't see them. But they can see outside the mist, so they can actually shoot us from the mist, which is really annoying. Sorry about that. And there's only two ways to get rid of the mist, which is basically through fire or explosives. So I'm just going to shoot the mist and take it out early because I don't want to deal with it. Or I should say mist. Basically, yeah, you might as well just call it mist. Mist Sentinel. After all, these guys are really annoying. They have decent armor, but they aren't super tanky. Within basically 2 of your units, you can take these guys down. Though, most times it's going to take 3 units to take them down completely. You can see me trying to think of getting some higher ground, and I say, yeah, I might as well, because I'm thinking of letting this go for about a turn, like letting some mist come out. Since it's highly unlikely I'm going to take it all out in 1 turn, because of our location. Unfortunately, I end up fighting something I didn't like to fight. This goes over will point zones. Will point zones are actually kind of important. Basically, you go in them, and your team gets a bunch of will back. I think it's like 5 will you get back for each will point zone you're in, but whatever. As see there, we have to backpack all of our stuff, so we just equip all of that, put it in our backpack, and each item weighs a bit. The resources cost 3, guns cost 2 or 3, or sometimes more depending on what the gun is, and everything else pretty much costs 1.
Let's go!
I decided to go up with our sniper. And then I decide to go over here. Since the Mist Sentinel is now preparing to spread some mist, we don't like that. It basically spreads 2 tiles worth of mist every turn. And it constantly continues, starts going out, and out. Mist is impossible to get rid of. So when you see a Mist Sentinel, you want to get rid of it fast. Like really fast before it spreads too far and blocks off too much vision of the map. Because early game, well, it may not matter since everyone's melee. Late game, when there's actual snipers on the enemy team, like the actual enemy team, like they just pick up guns and say some snipe, boom. You just don't want that. As they'll just see you, shoot you, and then you're wondering, wow, how am I going to combat this? Oh, I know. Let me waste a grenade real quick. It's not fun doing that.
Let's go.
So as you see there, it tells you about the mist, how it pretty much recovers will for the enemies, and also how it alerts all enemies when I enter the mist. Also, if I go in the mist and stay there, I also lose will, so we don't want that. These guys are really good for the enemies, of course. That's why we get rid of them. Very annoying.
Yeah.
Eyes peeled.
So now it's time to take on this Mist Sentinel. I pretty much just move him and then decide to shoot this thing, since we can pretty much guarantee a hit by doing this. Like, there's only a slight chance that this is him, and we get rid of so much armor.
Practice.
That we're actually able to do it.
Problem solved.
As it's all right there. Within 2 allies of return,
Come get
we
some.
can get rid of him and then focus on the accuracy.
What a
pretty much
kill.
gets some guaranteed kills. And while I could take that shot and relatively hit, I decided to not do it because I decide it's best if someone else gets a hit and kill here because we want to
Target located. Come get some.
instead of just that. Got it.
Hostile injured but alive. For now.
You can see that this just shows when you break the body parts, certain things can't be worked or used anymore. Like if you break the body part and destroy the main weapon off of a Archon. I'm sorry, I can't really read that. And I can't remember the name off the top of my head. But yeah, if you break that, Pencer pretty much has no weapon and he
Come
just...
get some.
Yeah, Arthon.
Finger on the trigger.
Arthron.
Finger on the trigger.
Yeah. But yeah, if you break that Pencer, or the, basically the armor of that Pencer, they just sit there and they wallow about wondering what they can do, which is nothing.
Eyes peeled.
Pretty much easy
Finger
prey.
on the trigger. Eyes peeled. Come get some.
Now we just decide to pretty much Overwatch, because they'll either run at us or they'll run away and die. One of the two. The one with the arm still will probably run at us. That's it. Then this is shown the enemy's reinforcements, which during these missions it's pretty much endless. Meaning, in theory, the longer you're in these missions, the more dangerous it gets, which is not something you want. So it's best to just get what you can and run. This is why early game you just get all the supplies you can get because it's really easy. But you know, later on when they're being protected by, like, let's say bandits or something, and the bandits get like 3 heavies, you just leave. You just leave. There's no reason to stay.
Ready to engage. Is that really the best they can do?
And oh yeah, this is the panic thing. So when enemy runs out of will, they panic. They pretty much just run and cover and they don't do anything. This is really good for anything, but panic does go both ways, meaning when you run out of will, which you'll be surprised how fast will can drain in this game, you just start panicking and you can lose your unit very easily as they run to some really bad cover and get flanked and killed. Yeah, so panicking is a really big spiral event, so you want to prevent that. As you see there, I show off Recover. Recover is basically you use all your actions to just get back some will. It's a really good ability that I would almost guarantee you should use anytime you're running out of will. Don't always use it, but like you want to pretty much use it if you're going to run out of will and you want that character to live. Otherwise, they may require some help later on. Or they'll just prove to be a dead link for the rest of the mission.
Watch out, I'm moving in.
I'll be right there.
Moving in.
Evacuation zones. Basically, this is where we can actually leave the mission. Most missions only have 1 evacuation zone, though some can have like 2 or 3, but they're generally always going to be on the same side. They're not going to be on each area of the map,
Finger on the trigger.
so it's very important to remember that. Sniper moving once again. Why snipers are good, leaving this guy in pretty much death's door, since he's going to die exactly on his turn thanks to bleeding. So I just opt to go get pretty much all my supplies. After all, might as well get it. As you'll see here, we'll also get over encumbered here. Now, getting over encumbered isn't really too bad. It just slows you down significantly, but you don't really care too much. Late game, I'll probably start caring more about over encumbrance, aka I probably just won't ever do it because it's just too dangerous. I'd rather not be slow and be outran by some of these guys. So,
Like
yeah.
the wind.
But since it's early game, I don't really care. I'll completely fine with getting
Already there.
outran by them because like they're gonna run up to me. I'm gonna either shoot them or I'm gonna bash their head in, one of the two.
I'm going in. Target located. Come get some.
Jing is very strategical. We see that guy, he's gonna die, so I'm like, I don't really care. And then we see the other guy and we realize he's also gonna die, so I'm like, okay, well, might as well just bash your head in. A good dash here. Dashing is not bad, really good. Using it twice is pretty much moving twice. Sorry, moving 4 times. Right? Not crazy, right? Yeah, it's basically moving 4 times, which isn't bad. Now we can just get our supplies and get the fudge out of here.
Moving in.
Next, most of these missions aren't too hard. They're just pretty much supplies and free XP. Now, what to say, just get what you can. It's fine if you get over encumbered. Much supplies literally never hurts. And ammo is very important because while ammo can be made instantly, they do cost materials to make. And materials, they aren't scarce, but you still don't want to just waste a bunch on that because buildings will cost a bunch of material. I'm talking about in the hundreds. So while you may only cost like 5 to make some
Watch
ammo,
out, I'm moving in.
you have to make like 10 ammo because you have like 30 soldiers. It can be really expensive. At least more expensive than you thought. Now enemies you see, they just permanently continue spawning. I mean, the longer we stay in there, the more danger we're going to be in. But thankfully, we're just going to get what you want and leave. So it's not too bad. So I guess I'll probably just get back to you guys once we leave this mission. And then I'll probably close off the video from there.
Heading out. Threat eliminated. Moving to coordinates.
And just like that, we complete the mission very easily. I mean, who could have guessed? It's almost as if these are very easy missions designed for very weak people, because they aren't strong yet. This right here just is basically talking over the mission rewards and fatigue. Mission rewards pretty much always go to your base, aka storage areas. They can be accessible to anyone or anywhere as long as you have storage in one of those bases. And the fatigue, basically every mission after a certain amount of turns, your characters will lose fatigue according to the max turns you took. Or yeah, according to the max amount of turns you took. The more fatigue you have, the worse it will be. Or I guess it'd be the more turns you took, the more fatigue you get. Which basically means just go back to your base and rest for a bit. After you do all of that, then you can now start the researching process of the game, which is like the only way you can actually beat the game. Kind of obvious. You need to research to get any good stuff in this game. But overall, that's going to have to be it for the video. I mean, there isn't much more to talk about for this part. Next part, we'll go over in some detail about the other characters, not just the other characters, but the other factions and all that. Because I'll get there. But yeah, for right now, that's going to be it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like. At least comment something, maybe say something like, I watched all the way to the end of the video. Woo! Oh yeah, actually, yes, say something like, I watched all the way to the video, so I knew you watched all the way to the end of the video. See, most people won't do that. But yeah, if you liked the video, like, subscribe, share with your friends maybe. If they like Phoenix Point, say, hey, this guy's doing a whole playthrough on Phoenix Point. You should probably watch. It's kind of scuffed the first episode. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.